Yeah. Your town nice. Stay in the know. Hardin County. Phone on silent, but the county talk loud. Hardin Local got the whole town down. From Radcliffe Rose to the E-Town Square. If it's going down, you'll hear it right here. Nate got the scoop when the business grow. Nate's business buzz, let the whole town know. New shop popping, yeah, the word gon' flow. Local grind strong, let the spotlight glow. Then J.O.B. with the weekend plans. Events in the county for the whole fam. Concerts, festivals, places to go. Circle that calendar so you don't miss the show. Stay in the know. Hardin County. Hardin Local. Let ride. Head bopping local tonight. Hardin County on a vibe, from the news to the food to the city lights. Stay in the know. Hardin County. Got the numbers when the market move. Housing update, let the data prove who's buying what and where things go. Smart move start when you stay in the know. Then the food talk hit when the mic get lit. Experience eater telling where to sit. New spot fire, yeah, we gotta go. Local plates hot, let the flavor show. Small town roots, but the vision big. Every local story with the.
Welcome back to Hardin Local. Phil Tall here again. This is my 5th of 7 candidate interviews today. And I'm joined now by Christy Gordon, who's running for the Republican primary for Hardin County Magistrate District 4, the two-way race against Fred Clem Jr. Quick thank you to today's sponsors, the Plumbing Doctor and Omni Design Group, both helping us bring these interviews to you. More on them both in a minute. Christy, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Bill.
Yes, every candidate in this race gets the same questions, same orders, same time limits.
Okay.
And also, before we jump in, just want to let the audience know that we're not taking questions for these. We've already preset them to make it fair for every candidate in that does an interview. But if you do have questions for the candidate, you can put them in the comments, and it'll be up to them to reply to those questions if they so choose to. But we'd also love to see your comments as well, just about what you're thinking and whatever else you might want to comment. Just keep it respectful, and yeah, that'd be great. So let's jump into it.
Sounds good.
All right. So we already mentioned what office you're running for, magistrate.
Yes.
District 4.
Mhm.
So why this office? Why are you running for this office?
I'm running for magistrate in District 4, mainly because I care deeply about the community. I believe leadership should be accessible, present, and engaged. I've spent several years showing up in the community, building relationships, and staying involved. And I just want to take that a step further by serving in a role where I can help make thoughtful decisions that will impact our county in a positive, long-term way.
All right. Briefly, about 90 seconds on this one. What happened in your life that led you to run for magistrate?
I don't know that there's any specific thing that happened. I know over the years I have become very involved in the community through business, through nonprofit work, and local organization. That involvement gave me a front row seat to both the strengths of our community and the areas where people feel unheard or disconnected. And after having so many conversations and seeing where I could make a difference, it just became clear that this should be my next step.
Okay. What in your background most prepares you for this seat?
My background it's rooted in relationship building, business development, and community involvement. I've spent over 15 years working directly with people, listening, problem solving, and finding solutions. I also serve on multiple boards and community organizations. which has given me the experience of working collaboratively, understanding different perspectives, and making decisions that affect more than just one group of people.
Okay. If voters only remember one thing about why they should vote for you, what is it?
If they only remember one thing, I would like for them to remember that I am someone who shows up, I listen, and I follow through. I'm here to stay connected, be accessible, and represent the people of the district with integrity.
All right, let's take a quick break to pay some bills over here. Today's election coverage is brought to you in part by the Plumbing Doctor, a family-owned Hardin County plumbing company run by Glenn and Tracy Downs right here in Elizabethtown. Over 20 years serving E-Town, Radcliffe, Fort Knox, and Hodgenville, fully licensed and insured, 24/7 emergency service, and a 10% labor discount for military, first responders, and seniors. When your pipes go, call local, call 765-PLUM, that's PLUM, that's 765-PLUM, the Plumbing Doctor, experienced, reliable, and affordable. So the first 90 days in, say you win, what's the first concrete thing you do when you take office?
I think the first priority would be to listen, build relationships, and just get a clear understanding of what's already in motion. I want to make sure I fully understand any current priorities, ongoing projects, and where the greatest needs are so I can make informed, thoughtful decisions from the start.
Okay. Is your campaign self-funded, donor-funded, or a mix?
It is a mix. I've had support from some individuals who believe in what I'm doing, and I've also invested personally. It's been built on relationships probably more than anything.
Okay. Well, where should voters go to learn more about your campaign?
You can find me on Facebook, Christy Gordon for Magistrate District 4. I have a website, christygordonformagistrate4.com. And they could reach out to me directly through my email, christygordonformagistrate@gmail.com.
All right. And that website, is it Christy Gordon?
The number
with the
4,
number 4,
magistrate, number 4.com.
All right. I put that in the link on this share, and I'll tag the rest of the stuff after the stream.
Awesome.
Before we move on to the magistrate specific questions, let me pay a few more bills. How about that? A big thank you to our second sponsor, Omni Design Group. Omni is a second generation builder based in Elizabethtown. Josh Branningham, a good friend of mine, and Corey Jewell, both friends. Born and raised in Hardin County, they handle new construction, remodeling, residential, and light commercial. Any size home, any size Reno. No idea too outside of the ordinary. And if you aren't aware, they're the ones that built Heartland Mini Golf, the first, I think it's the first commercial building using storage containers. But anyway, if you have got a build, a remodel, or an outside the box project, call Corey at Omni Design Group, 270-769-8339. That's 270-769-8339. Corey at Omni Design Group, locally owned, locally built, custom thinking. Looks like we lost you. Are you still there? We'll give her a minute to come back. In the meantime, while we're waiting on her to get back, I'll pull up our schedule so you guys know what's going on. Let me do a little screen share here. But Christy, if you're listening, I'd probably just rejoin, leave and come back. It's probably the best way to do it. Let me kick you out here so you can get back in. We'll wait for her to get back. Let's go over to, oh, she's already back. Let's see. Can you hear me? Let's see here. Are you there? There you go.
Sorry about that. I guess my phone rang and
Yeah,
it picked me up.
that's okay. Not a big deal. I was about to show everybody our election website, but you got back before I got to that. So we'll continue on. All right, on these race specific questions, you have 2 minutes per. If that happens
Okay.
again, don't make it a big, just like, do what you did and come back, and I'll pause until you're back. We'll go ahead and do these. You have 2 minutes for each question. And there's 4 of them. And if you don't
Okay.
use your full 2 minutes, you can bank it for another question, or you can add it onto your 90-second elevator pitch at the end.
Okay.
So the first question is just understanding the role. A magistrate is one of 8 members of the Hardin County Physical Court. Legally, you only have power when court is in session. In plain language, though, how do you describe the job to a voter who's never been to a physical court meeting? What can a magistrate actually do, and what can a magistrate not do?
I would say magistrate is part of the fiscal court, which means we work together to make decisions that impact the county. Things that include the budget, infrastructure, and long-term planning. Individually, a magistrate doesn't have authority outside of the court setting, but collectively, we have a responsibility to represent our district while making decisions that benefit the entire county. It's a role that requires collaboration, communication, and understanding the bigger picture.
All right. You used up about a minute of your time, so you have an extra minute on it if you want to, if you end up wanting to use it. Next question is on the county budget. Hardin County's 25-26 budget is just under $60 million after revisions from Judge Hall's original proposal. If you are elected magistrate, how do you approach the budget? And also, are there specific things you push to grow, protect, or cut? And lastly, how do you make those trade-offs publicly so residents can follow along?
I would approach the budget with a focus on transparency, responsibility, and long-term impact. I believe it's important to protect the essential services and invest where there's a clear need while being thoughtful about how taxpayer dollars are used. I wouldn't go in with the mindset of cutting or adding without understanding the full picture. I believe in asking questions, reviewing the data, and making decisions that are both fiscally responsible and community focused.
All right. You used about a minute there, so now you have an extra 2 minutes on any of these questions that you might want, or add it on to the end. The next question is about road and infrastructure. Hardin County Road Department maintains 568 miles of roads. In 24, they paved around 33 miles and did 4 miles of chip seal, and they're moving towards a published pavement and bridge management plan. How should a magistrate engage with the road department, both for countywide planning and for specific road concerns from residents in your district?
Road infrastructure is one of the most visible and important responsibility at the county level, especially with it being 568 miles. That's a lot. I believe a magistrate should stay connected with the road department to understand both the long-term planning and any day-to-day concerns. And that means advocating for district needs, communicating with residents, and making sure those concerns are brought to the table while also supporting any countywide priorities and initiatives.
All right. You used up most of your time on that one, so you still do have an extra 2 minutes if you, whenever you do decide to use it. District advocacy versus countywide responsibility. Every magistrate is elected by one district, but votes on policy for the whole county. How do you balance fighting for the specific needs of your district, whether that's road or drainage or zoning requests, with the responsibility to do what's best for all of Hardin County?
Well, you're right. You're elected by the district, but you do serve the entire county, and both matter significantly. My responsibility would be to advocate for District 4 while also making decisions that are fair and beneficial across Hardin County. I think the balance comes down to just listening, being informed, and making decisions based on what's right and not what's just easy or popular at the end of the day.
Yeah. All right. This is the last question. And then after that, I'll give you a chance to do elevator pitch, why people should vote for you. But we'll do this. I didn't put that in the list of questions because I wanted everybody to have something, that they didn't have prepared, so they could just speak from the heart. So we'll do that at the end. The physical court has 8 magistrates plus judge executive. There's also like the county attorney and the county clerk, but they're non-voting members, but still involved. A lot of county businesses requires all those offices, plus the cities, the school board, there's the sheriff, and just a lot of different relationship building you have to do. How do you see a magistrate's role in building those working relationships, especially when you disagree with each other?
I think respect and communication are key. You're not always going to agree with everyone, especially when there's that many different people involved. Everyone has different perspectives, different ideas, but that doesn't mean you can't work together effectively. I believe in listening first, understanding different perspectives, and staying focused on the outcome and not the disagreement. At the end of the day, it's about serving the community, and that requires professionalism, collaboration, and mutual respect.
Okay. Well, Christy, like I said, I'm going to give you a minute. I'm going to give you, you can take up to 4 minutes, but you don't have to use the full 4 minutes. But first, I'm going to close out on my end. But I do thank you for taking the time. And for viewers, if you missed where Christy said voters can learn more about her campaign, we've dropped it in the comments of this post. And we'll also, there's probably a couple of links I'll put in to this post comments, but we put her website up there so you can find that there. I also want to do one more thank you to today's sponsors, the Plumbing Doctor at 765 Plum and Omni Design Group. Call or text Corey at 270-769-8339 for your next build, remodel, or custom project. This interview is going to stay archived. It'll be on Facebook for 30 days, the live version, then it expires, but I'll have a downloaded copy. So if anybody wants to request the full version, they can. I'll be publishing a edited version here in the next day or so. And you can share this one or the edited version with anyone you know that's voting on May 19th. Up next, after Christy's done, at 5:45, we'll have Julie Cantwell, who's running in the Republican primary for Kentucky State Representative District 10. So make sure you join us at 5:45 for that. Saying all that, we thank you for joining us, and we hope that you stick around for a few more minutes while Christy closes us out.
Okay. And I'm just doing why you should vote for me.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think you should vote for me because I am deeply rooted in the community. I've spent the last 15 to 20 years actually in the community, working hard, showing up for business, showing up for individuals. And that's through the chamber, through my nonprofit, and just community engagement and work. And I truly care about the community. And I have spent most of my professional career relationship building, business development, which gives me those skills of being able to connect with people who have different perspectives and just thinking outside of the box and bringing people together. And I guess that would probably sum it up.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us again, Christy. Stick around for a second until I get us off the live so we can have a quick conversation. And we thank you, Hardin